Discover your inner goddess and live up to your highest value and most abundant potential. Welcome to Grateful Goddesses, a podcast that empowers you to unleash your inner goddess and take the leap of faith to live your best life. Your guide, Pulver, joins her fellow goddesses in soulful conversations about gratitude, personal growth, authentic living, and a bevy of topics affecting women today. Let's start the show with your host, Pulver.
Welcome, everybody, to Grateful Goddesses. So today, I want to ask everybody listening out there or watching, what is your relationship to makeup? Are you wearing makeup right now? Do you feel like you have to wear makeup? For me personally, growing up, I was told by my mother to never leave the house without my eyeliner on. And I think that this was because she grew up, when she took a modeling class, they told her to always look her best and to feel like she was going to be meeting the Queen of England. So she always put makeup on to leave the house. We're going to talk today about makeup, how to use it, why we use it, how it makes us feel inside, how it makes us feel outside. And we're going to have no judgment. We're going to be vulnerable. We're going to talk about it. When I don't wear makeup, a lot of people say, "Are you okay? You look tired. Are you sick?" So it doesn't mean that I always wear makeup. I'll turn to them and say, "No, I'm perfectly healthy. I'm feeling great. This is me. This is my natural face." But when I want that little sparkle or that little radiant glow, I will wear it. What is your relationship to makeup? So our guest is Nicole Abbott. And before she comes on, I wanted to introduce her. She is a fellow Canadian. Some of you may not know this, but was also born in Toronto, Canada. But she grew up in a house of women surrounded by beauty her entire life. Her experience as a professional makeup artist has led her to follow her dreams. She has always had a passion for beauty and the cosmetic industry. She's a mother of 2 wonderful children, and she's twice widowed and exceptionally brave. Her family lives by 2 simple mottos, and I love these. Life is not a dress rehearsal, and embrace new challenges. It is with this in mind that she's fulfilled her dreams of creating her own makeup line. Hey Babe Cosmetics is an exclusive line of makeup developed and manufactured in Toronto, Canada. She believes that showing the world your natural beauty is right at your fingertips. Her formula is to keep it simple and occasionally add a pop of glam. Every Hey Babe has their own individual style. Let's enhance your beautiful inner Hey Babe, and as we like to say, your inner goddess. Welcome, Nicole.
Hi.
Hi there. Thank you for saying yes to joining us on Grateful Goddesses. And I'm really excited to talk about your relationship with makeup.
So like the other goddesses that I'm with this morning, thank you so much. Mine started at a young age too. I was probably 14, mixing with my mom's makeup, always had, experimenting, stuff like that. Applying too much makeup, I will add. My eyes were always like full of shadow, which you kind of saw that walking. My eyeshadow turned the corner before I did. And so I've always had a love for it. And I started off, I guess I was 17 when I got my makeup artist license and went to school. And so my makeup career started at a young age of 17. Always wanted my own makeup line. It was a dream. And finally, it's here, which is, a big, long story.
We're going to get into that story because it is really quite incredible. And being a grateful goddess, which I believe every single person is, it's just tapping into that inner goddess. I feel like you've done that. I feel like you've embraced your inner goddess and you're just like, you go girl, like you are doing it. But it was not without hardship. It was not without roadblocks, without things stopping you perhaps, or having you maybe, setbacks, if you wouldn't mind talking about that a little bit, because
Sure.
that I feel is really important to our listeners, especially if there's something that you find that you're interested in trying or doing, and you feel constantly that you're being pushed away from it. How do you get past that? How did you, in your story, tell us a little bit about your background and what happened to you? And
Sure.
then what inspires you to continue with your dream?
Okay. So, as you said earlier, I'm married twice and I'm widowed twice. That alone is a big pill to swallow. Okay. So I've been dealing with grief for 20 years. My first husband, Charles, passed away. I was 28, and my son was 8 months old. Within a few years, so Charles had Burkitt's lymphoma, and his diagnosis to death was 6 months, which, we can all talk about what we've done in the last 6 months, certainly the last 3, 4 months, you know. So 6 months, not a long time. Anyways, we'll put that aside for a moment. I had an infant. I just within a few years after Charles passed away, I met Alan. Alan's my second husband. He had kidney disease. And so Alan had a transplanted kidney for 21 years. He had his mom's kidney, which worked beautifully. Yeah. And kidneys only last a certain amount of time, transplanted kidneys. We were very grateful. We had 21 years with his kidney. Anyways, last 4 years of his life, his kidney started to fail. So he needed to go on dialysis, was really fighting it, didn't want to go on dialysis, because the whole dialysis life is something he just really didn't want to give into. Anyways, those 20 years of, two husbands and a lot of ups and downs, there was no time for me to do what I truly love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. I could safely put that aside one day, thinking, one day I'll get there, okay? Because I wasn't working full time, because I was dealing with, raising my kids. So I have Adam is my son from my first marriage, and Maddie is from Alan, my second marriage. So it wasn't until Alan passed away, so if we backpedal a bit, I used to wear this brand, Shiseido PK415, which was my favorite pink lipstick. And Shiseido discontinued this color, like many of us. It's a little devastating when you lose that perfect pink or that color that you love.
Right.
And you try and source it. So there was no sourcing. So I started buying it online, 12 at a time. Okay. I get my last shipment. I open up the tube and I'm about this far apart and I smell something horrible. I realize it's rancid, it's bad. So this was within about 3 weeks after Alan passed away. I tucked it away and I was upset because I didn't have my pink. I was also going through the motions of, okay, now what?
Right.
Here I am, a widow again for a second time. Very different than it was the first time. Alan and I were together, married for 14 years. Charles and I, we had a young love. Alan and I, we had older kids, so it was different. Anyways, within a few weeks after Alan passed away, I said, okay, now what? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're in grieving mode. And, I used my tools that I knew from the past and therapy and all kinds of stuff that we all need. And I realized I finally had to do something for me and something that I'm passionate about, which is makeup. So my pink, my Shiseido pink was rotten, stale, and I set out to make my pink. So I started off with one pink. Hey Babe Cosmetics has 5 in the line. We didn't get it right the first time. And so I created Girl Power. And Girl Power, I have it right here actually. This is Girl Power.
Oh, it's so pretty. Yep.
Thank you. Girl Power is your everyday pink. It's gorgeous. You can wear it with a liner or a gloss on top or on its own. So I started with just one lipstick, which turned into, I think, 15 we have, and then has developed into lip lacquers, We have glosses, shadow palettes. I have about 52 SKUs in the line of makeup. And, but it did start with one pink lipstick. So that's the makeup side, the passionate side for me that I've always wanted my own brand. How was I going to do it? How was I going to fund it? Where was I going to find it? Where was I going to manufacture it? All these things were going through my head. Okay. So what I chose to do was incorporate my past, what I'm so passionate about, two loves of my life, Charles and Alan. And I created two fellowship funds in memories of both my husbands. So I have this beautiful little line of makeup. It's makeup artist quality. I'm a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's handpicked, okay? 52 SKUs in a line is not a lot of makeup, okay? So we have a specific fund for Charles, and then we have a specific fund for kidney disease for Alan. And it's called, so Charles is called the Charles Crowitz Burkitt's Lymphoma Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And Alan's is the Alan David Abbott Scar Wars Fellowship Fund. One's at Princess Margaret, the other one's at St. Mike's. So that's really it's driving me. Like, it's just, I'm going.
It's time for you. It's time to do it. And I can relate to raising a family. I too raised my kids. They're teenagers, young adults now, and I kind of work sporadically in between. But there's things I put off, like this podcast. I put this off for the longest time, and it's time. But it's really hard when you have roadblocks. I mean, and those are not just a little bump,
So, would you believe I'm in the cottage and there's a bee in front of me right now, buzzing around?
So I want to tell you what that means.
What does that mean?
You may or may not agree with this, but I have spoken with intuitive counselors and psychic mediums. I get messages, I get red cardinals, and that is usually someone who is very dear to me that has passed away. That bee, if you want to believe it or not, may be someone who's passed on that's just letting you know that they're there and that they're, I don't know, it's up to you, but that's just, and people listening might think I'm absolutely crazy, but there is a lot of literature out there. So maybe that's it. Or it could just be a bee that likes your sweet smell. So thank you. That is just incredible. And I feel inspired by that. And I do hope others will as well. I want to turn it over to Alyssa. She has a couple questions for you.
Hi. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And obviously it's one of strength and resilience and perseverance with your business. And it's so amazing. I wanted to ask you some makeup tips, if I might.
Sure. Yeah.
So here we are on Zoom. We've been spending a lot of time on Zoom, both for the podcast and just, with friends and family. How do we change our makeup routine to look our best on Zoom? It's obviously, how do you look your best on a computer screen versus out in the real world?
Okay, so couple things. First of all, we're not wearing makeup these days. And like you, I'm going on Zoom meetings too. So for me, it lasted about a week where I was like, okay, we're all in this mode where the world is shutting down, but yet life has to go on. We have to interact. We have to get to our appointments online. We have meetings to attend. So for a week, I didn't wear makeup. And I looked in the mirror and I went, what am I doing? Like, how can I talk to people and not have something on my face? So there's a few things. What I call is the 5-minute Zoom face, okay? It doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't need to, is what I'm saying. So what do I use? I do a tinted moisturizer or BB cream all over my face using my hands, okay? Or I could use a beauty blender or a brush, okay? Take it all the way down to here, right? Then I use, on top of that, I use a corrector stick for under my eyes. Some of us have
very important
dark circles these days, some fine lines. And my corrector stick is I'm just going to do it from afar, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. Can you see? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I like the twisting action.
You like that?
I
So
do.
I take it into a V and then I take it right out. Okay, and we can do the same thing on the other eye. So we're 2 products.
It almost gives you, it's like a highlighter
I
effect
was gonna
too.
say.
Yes, and I'm just gonna look quickly. Yeah. So a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream foundation, your corrector stick. Now, very important, our brows. Okay. If we don't take care of our brows or fill in our brows, we look kind of naked, don't we? So what I would do is pencil in your brows. We're also having to manicure our brows. So, we're not going to our brow tech. We're tweezing our brows. Okay. Some of us are tinting our brows at home. So what I would do is I have my skinny medium brown pencil, and I would just outline my brows first, and then with very light feathering strokes, just fill in my brows. Okay. Okay. So we have foundation, corrector stick, brows. I would put on mascara. Okay. Not necessarily eyeliner. And then I'm using Maddie Babe Gloss, which is just a light, kind of a peachy hue, pearlescent gloss. Stunning. That's my Zoom face. Okay. Yeah. If I have a little bit more time, I'm going to take some bronzer and just highlight all around. Okay. Frame my face, get down here. Done. That's all I'm doing.
It's easy.
How's that sound?
Even I can do that.
We can all do it.
No blush. No blush.
No, you know what? I'm using bronzer. I'm using like a bronze. I have what's called Bronze Babe, which is a 2-tone bronzer palette.
Oh, okay.
It does the trick. It's fast. We don't, for whatever reason, although we have a lot of time these days, we're not putting a lot of time in.
Exactly.
Right? So brows, little bit of coverage, mascara, lips, you're done.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So I too was inspired by your story, and I unfortunately am also a widow. So I share lots of things that you were saying, and the constant grieving and the new grieving, and been with you. Mine's about 10 years ago, and I am also remarried, and I'm experiencing love again, different. Mine was young, my first one. But fast forward to that, I never took that Mary Kay job that I was offered in Starbucks many years ago, but I did end up getting involved with a company called Beauty Counter.
Yep.
And one of the reasons why my best friend brought me into it, but what really made me get into this company was their mission, and their mission on clean products.
Right.
And passing here in the States the laws to prevent certain chemicals to be in our care products. And raising 2 little girls and having their father pass from cancer, I was very concerned about what they're putting on themselves. I know your products are also clean.
Yep.
How do you feel about this and this? And I see the industry changing here in the States dramatically. Most companies are going very clean, and I pride myself on using only clean products.
Yeah.
For head to toe.
Good for you. First off, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I understand your pain. Although I'm not walking in your shoes, my shoes are slightly different. They're tighter or a little looser, but I do understand your pain, so I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So clean products. Listen, that seems to be the way we're going. That's the way we're heading. Okay. With this fast train. Having said that, as a manufacturer, manufacturing products, the cost is huge. Okay. So, there's safety factors, there's sourcing your products. I think if you're fortunate enough to get in with the right manufacturer and keep your costs down from a manufacturing perspective, then yeah, great. Then you can do it. I'm a small little pea in this great big cosmetics world, right?
Mhm.
There's so much competition for me. Now, having said that, I do agree with you. I think it's the way of the future, 100%. I think, we have to worry about what we're putting on our skin. Forget about the anti-aging stuff, okay,
Right.
those lines and, who cares about that? We're concerned about cancer. We're concerned about those parabens. I'm thrilled that my product is paraben free, non-toxic, not tested on animals. It's also made in Canada. I like that too right now, given what's happening in the world. And so, yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So kudos to you. Because it's hard. It's hard to switch your entire, life over to clean. Like it takes a
Yeah.
lot of effort.
Yes,
And
and
it's
my
expensive.
daughters fight me a lot on that, on certain things, and I have to
I'm
really
sure.
pick and choose.
Right. And so you're saying, I'm not buying anything that's not clean. So maybe you're not buying that trending product for your daughter that she might love because it's not 100% clean, right?
Right.
Probably, I would imagine. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I know.
But we do what we can do.
You do a TikTok. You
Yes,
get
it's
through it.
it's hard to convert my husband too. He's sort of
Yeah.
so pick and choose, but
Yeah.
Thank you, Dina.
So if you're someone who doesn't want to wear a lot of makeup on a daily basis, what are some like key products that are good to like emphasize features where you feel like it's kind of minimal makeup, but it's like au natural makeup, let's say beauty?
For sure. And so we're also rolling into summer, right? So things are light. So what I would suggest is an SPF moisturizer for sure. Okay. A lip balm on your lips. I start my day off that way every day. Simple lip balm, moisturizer. Then I figure out my face. Your brows look beautiful.
Oh my.
You do something with them. You're penciling them in or you're shading them in.
I did nothing to my eyebrows, and I haven't had them. I normally get them
Threaded. Yeah.
And I haven't had threading, since Corona started.
Pull your hair back. Yeah, you have a really nice shape. So like really nice, like from what I can see here, So yeah, we're cleaning up our brows with tweezers because we can't get to our brow girl. We're filling in our brows with a brow pencil or shadow or a gel, whatever you have. So we're keeping it light. Like I think these days, everyone's feeling like they don't want to wear too much. We're wearing comfortable clothes. We don't want a lot on our face. So, but you look gorgeous. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Alyssa, what would you like to ask?
Nicole, what were your biggest challenges in starting your makeup line? You did mention earlier, it's an expensive proposition and there are all these regulations now in the beauty industry about clean makeup and everything being paraben free. But what were your own challenges on the business side of getting Hey Babe up and running?
Sure. Great question. So, finding my manufacturer was really big for me. I wanted everything made in Canada. There's plenty of manufacturers in China, but I didn't want to go there. Not only did I want to travel way back then, but I wanted my products to be Canadian made. I'm very proud Canadian, and I wanted to pay in the Canadian dollar. So I set out to find my manufacturer, which is actually Toronto based. So it's convenient for me and I have a great relationship and that's where we make my product. If we go back to the loss side of things in my life, when I had to turn the switch from being a widow and that we were able to get things rolling as quickly as we have. And she's been through it all with me. She's really she's my sidekick. She's a strong woman. She's a goddess too. And so we were away and I told her about my idea of, coming up with a product, a makeup line. And so we were just sitting there and I said, babe, like, what am I even call it? And she said, babe, I don't know. Like, and I looked at her, I went, hey, babe. And we started laughing our heads off and that was it. So Yeah, a lot of people say to me, I thought we were close friends. You don't have a lipstick named after me. I'm like, just give me some time.
Right. So maybe you can make a Grateful Goddess lipstick.
Or goddess?
Or goddess.
Babe?
You never know. Goddess babe. Okay, Dina, did you have another question for Nicole?
Yes, it's a little bit more technical, I guess, in the sense of products. You mentioned highlighting with your bronzer. I'm wondering, my girls use, I think it's just called a highlighter. Yeah. And I've been playing around with that a little bit, and I'll do like a dab here, and then the corners of the eyes. Yeah. Which I love. Can you speak a little bit about, is that the correct way to use that product? Yeah. Is it?
So absolutely. This is a really light brush. This is a light shader brush. And so, yeah, you got all the right spots, especially on your cheekbone. Okay. Even down here on your collarbone. Oh, okay. So you're just going to highlight those. If you kind of turn your head a bit and you kind of catch some light here, you're here, you're here. It's just to add that shimmer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a product called Sweetly Kissed. I don't have it on me, but it's a two-tone highlighter palette, and it's beautiful. Just a little bit under the eye, maybe in your arch, maybe above your arch or your brow, or even under the arch of your brow.
Right. Yep.
Just here, absolutely right here. You got all the right spots down.
Good. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Rachel, did you have another question?
I have another technical question. First of all, though, back to Dina's, did you say on the nose? Because that is somewhere I would love to try to add some shadowing. Do the light on the outsides? Is that what you say?
So here's the thing. You have to have a really light hand, because what you don't want is a couple of stripes coming down your face. Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
We all tend to overdo it with eyeliner, with bronzer, with brows. It'll look like Groucho Marx. So you just have to have a light hand. So I would take a little bit of a darker shade, just kind of to narrow it in if you want. I'm not suggesting for you exactly, but I'm just saying just to narrow it in, and then maybe on the tip of your nose.
Okay.
But not much.
The darker on the tip of your nose, so the darker on the side.
I do a little bit of I do like a 1, 2, and then I take my larger brush and I take this. It just accentuates a little bit. That's it.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I always struggle with my eyes, and I actually never even apply eyeshadow. I just use like you're actually kind of like a toner, but like a colored toner on your eyes. I don't know what it's called, but
a one color.
Yeah, it's like a light, creamy color, and I'll just put that on my eyelids. But I never actually, I don't know, should I apply eyeliner across my eyes? Should I do the little thing up? Should I do it under my eyes? I just don't know.
Okay. So from what I can see, and I'm not in front of you, but from what I can see, you have a really nice working eyelid, okay? You have space, okay, where you can apply shadow, and a beautiful job too. So here's a few things that I would suggest. Either one color all over, nice and light, okay? You want something that's triple milled, highly pigmented. The color's gonna stay on your eye, okay? So it's like when you take your brush and you put it on your eyeshadow, sometimes, how you take it and sometimes you put it on and the color's not there? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So you gotta go again. Okay, so a great quality eyeshadow is gonna be triple milled, okay? And then so you're gonna get your one stroke and you're gonna probably just put it on your lid, okay? For you, I'd keep it simple, okay? Don't forget your brows too. You need to shade in your brows a little bit here on the ends, okay? Because you're nice and dark here, fades out a bit here, very normal. So use a liner, like an eyebrow liner. So just fill it in lightly. One shade across your eyelid, okay? You could even do a highlighter, like a really creamy color up near your brow, up on top here. I would do a liner on top, just straight across. You could use a dark brown. You could use a black, would be stunning. Mascara on top. Top lashes will open up your eyes. You don't need a lot of makeup. I'm serious.
or they want to hide acne, or they just want to feel good inside. Again, no judgment why someone chooses to wear it and why they don't, but it is really fun to wear it and put it on, especially when you know how to do it properly. I want to know, since I am in my 50s, I am starting to see wrinkles, the wrinkles that are coming in here and here. How do we mask that if we choose to? Like some people may not, they don't seem to care. I will be totally vulnerable and honest. I don't like a wrinkle coming in. I also don't like when a gray hair pops in my head. That's just who I am. And I'm curious to know how to effectively hide those wrinkles without, sometimes when I put on concealer, it's too thick.
Right. So best thing is to have a light hand. Okay. And that's my rule with any makeup. Okay. You can always go back, whether it's your brows or your concealer under your eye, because you're trying to cover up these fine lines. Go at your face lightly, because you can always add more. But what happens when you add more is you make things worse. Like, we add more shadow, we end up looking like we have a couple of black eyes, okay? We put too much under here, that stands out before you're even in the door, right? So you have to have a light touch. And often what I say is take a step back. Take a step back, look in the mirror and say, okay, how am I looking? I think what women are being confused by is we're worried about these lines, and we shouldn't be so much, but we can't forget about our brows. And I know I've mentioned brows a few times today, but it's so important. So fill these in, wear a little bit of mascara on top, apply some light concealer underneath, okay? That's it. Don't just go for concealer for under your eyes, right?
I like the light hand because I don't. I just like really quickly put it on, and so that probably will solve my problem.
And you have to walk away. Like you have to look in the mirror and then you have to look away and then come back and go, okay, how am I doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? Again, I'm the same age as Karen, and just to keep your skin looking youthful, like what are like the best tricks and tips or products to?
Okay. So great question. I'm asked it all the time. First of all, products aside, we're drinking a lot of water, right? Because when we drink water, our skin looks better. Okay. It's so key. It's not only do we feel dehydrated sometimes, but our skin, the elasticity in our skin, you can feel it. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you got to drink, however many, a couple liters a day to keep your skin looking, feeling elastic. You want to apply a self tanner or a tinted moisturizer. SPF is great. If you smoke, you got to worry about these things, right? These fine lines around here. So like little things you kind of have to avoid. Alcohol, you got to watch the alcohol. You can see all these things on people's faces. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exercise, so important, right? When if you drink water, if you cut back on your alcohol, if you don't smoke or don't smoke so much, if you, stay protected, your face is going to look really good. Okay. It's all these other elements. So you just have to tone back. Now, skincare. Okay. It depends, what line you're using and, where you're at in your regime. But I think it's all the other elements that you have to really be on top of. Mostly water.
I love that answer. Such a good answer.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Hey, babe, you are a true goddess, and you are grateful for all that has come to your life, even some roadblocks, because it's obvious it's pushed you forward. The foundations that you've started are incredible in memory of your late husbands. And if people would like to contact you or find you, how can they do that, or order products, or in fact give to the foundations?
Okay. Thank you so much. Brought tears to my eyes. So Hey Babe is heybabecosmetics.ca. We're also on Instagram at Hey Babe Cosmetics Inc. INC. And, there are fellowship funds set up at the hospital, but I do encourage, going through the website, and, then I can track things as well. Thank you.
So you're an online business right now?
Totally. I always have been. So
Okay.
we're not in stores yet. So even before COVID, I was getting used to, I've gotten used to that whole world. Now I'm working through just, taking the time, I guess, to better Hey Babe, the background of Hey Babe.
So when we're out of Settle in Place and you can come travel to
Yes.
Chicago, we'll have a gathering with lots of other goddesses, and perhaps you can show us, in person how to apply makeup and talk about your story. But thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing how you too can take your passions, your inner goddess, and unleash it to become the grateful goddesses that you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Up next, favorite things. Opening up to happiness and joy.
So we're going to talk about our favorite things. And these are things, not necessarily objects, but something out there that makes you feel joy and makes you feel happy. Because as a grateful goddess, that's what it's all about. It's about feeling that inner joy, that inner passion, and then it will help you come out and become that outer goddess that you want to be. So I'd like to first start with Dina. What is something you brought along, whether it be an object or a phrase or a quote or a book, anything that makes you feel good?
So I brought a beauty product. I brought a self tanner by the Organic Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a natural product. I don't know if you have Credo, the store Credo in Toronto, but it's...
We don't, but I was just reading up on them.
Yeah, my favorite place to go for my clean products. I don't tan. I am a sweater person. I am constantly made fun of by my girlfriends because in the summer I am in the sweatshirt, in the jeans, but this helps my legs and arms and things look at least a little glowy, and I find it to be a really good one.
Nice. I love that.
Thank you for sharing. And of course, link will be on our website. Rachel, how about you?
Those who know me know I love essential oils, and I make my own concoctions for my skin oil and body oil. And this is rosehip oil by Evan Healy. And they're out of California. It's a very, it's an all natural brand, but that is what I use on my face with a hydrosol.
Beautiful. Well, your skin looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And I love that. I can smell it from here. Okay, Alyssa, what's your favorite thing?
So I brought one of my favorite beauty products. It's not a secret actually, but I love it. And it's these Power Glow peels from M61, which is kind of the in-house line at Blue Mercury, which is just down the street from my house. So it's very convenient. And I kind of buy it by the metric ton here because I go through them so quickly. And I'm not really good about keeping up with facials and doing them periodically or whatever, but this is kind of literally a 1-minute facial. I think they're pretty popular. I'm not sure I'm divulging any big secret here, but I have very sensitive skin, and things really kind of new products really kind of wig out my skin. But these are paraben free and synthetic, fragrance free, and dermatologist tested and allergy tested and all that. So they are one of the few things that actually really, I think, absorb and do something with my skin without having some big reaction to it. It's a wipe. You wipe it all over, put on some moisturizer. I put on moisturizer over it, and then I go to bed. And then in the morning you wake up and you do feel like you've kind of had a mini little facial, you're glowing, and I think it's exfoliating. It does a whole bunch of things, and I'm not really quite sure. It just makes my skin more glowy and maybe a little tighter, and I love them. I've been using them for years, and
it's working. It's working.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Alyssa,
they're really easy.
do you use them every night, or is it a few times a week?
So when you first get them, if you've never used them, at least for me, they sting a little bit. And I had to go back and say like, uh-oh, like what's happening here? And they're like, no, that's natural. It's going to happen because it has glycolic and salicylic acid in it, but it also has chamomile, which is very smoothing. So it's not like your skin's on fire. It's just a little bit of prickly feeling. And then, and you build up to them. So I now use them like 3 times a week at night before bed.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, I used it once a week. And I was like, and I just tried to build, then twice a week, then 3 times a week. There are people, I think, at the store who tell me you could use this every night. And I just use it 3 times a week.
Right.
Can you guess what this is?
Let's see. Show me again. Hold on. I can't.
I know what you're thinking.
Does that come out of the white?
It does vibrate.
Oh, okay. I can't see.
Okay, I know what you were thinking, but it was not that. It is my toothbrush. And it is not just any toothbrush, okay? It's called the Quip toothbrush. So first of all, this sticks on my mirror and it has holes in it so it keeps it dry. When I travel, it very cleanly goes in here in its little case. And the thing that I love about this Quip toothbrush, it's battery operated, if you can hear it. But I often, when I brush my teeth, push really hard and I get bleeding gums. I've had that problem my whole life. So my husband got this for me because what it does is when you start to push too hard, it stops vibrating. And it's like a little teachable tool. So when I brush, it stops vibrating. It also stays on for 2 minutes, which is the recommended time for brushing. But, and then this part it's a subscription and you pay a certain amount per month, which it's really not expensive. And they send you replacements because you are supposed to change this, especially after you've had a cold. It also has a tongue scrubber. And it is really important beauty-wise, like you were saying, Nicole, about drinking water and limiting your alcohol and not smoking. Your teeth, your oral dental health is so important to helping you overall feel good. And I'm not just saying this because my husband's in that field. I'm saying it because I know I actually don't have the greatest teeth. And I think a lot of it is because I brushed too hard or I wasn't taking as good care when I was younger. But now I am, and I'm using this toothbrush. But what I especially love about my toothbrush is it sticks on my mirror. And next to it, I took it down for today to show you, is a little sticky pad. I've actually had this sticky pad, and I should probably laminate it, for over 10 years. And it sticks on my mirror. And it says, "The gift of health is keeping me alive." And it's just gratitude. It's gratitude for my health, of me brushing my teeth, of flossing, washing my face. Because really, your body, I'm so grateful for my body to continue to keep me alive. It's simple. It's a simple statement. It may be hokey, but it's on my mirror. I hope it sticks back on my mirror. I wanted to bring it for you guys. I'll put some tape over it. But I look at it every single morning and every single night, because you are supposed to brush your teeth twice a day at least. The nighttime's the most important. So that's my one of my favorite things, especially for beauty and overall well-being. Nicole, how about you?
So first of all, back to your little note there. Listen, if we don't have our health, really, what do we have? You could have all the friends in the world, all the money in the world, but you need your health, right? So, I understand that statement. Listen, I'm only thinking about Hey Babe these days. So if I could pick one Hey Babe product, it's going to be my Maddie Babe Gloss. And that's my go-to. I swear by it. It's my best seller, and I'm going to send it to all of you because you need to try it. But that's it for me. I don't have anything other than my Hey Babe right now.
Well, thank you all for sharing your favorite things, and enjoy your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Unleashed your inner goddess yet? Thanks for joining us today on Grateful Goddesses. We invite you to visit our website, www.gratefulgoddesses.com to access today's show notes as well as other helpful resources. Don't forget to leave a review. Until next time, stay strong and empowered to be a grateful goddess.